Hello guys, welcome to today's Minecraft video. This is a tutorial of how to do simple computational counting redstone. So, I recently discovered on my own how to create a counting system because I wanted to make a scoring system out of it for a bridges map. But the thing about this is, not only can it be used to count and save memory data, but you can also use this um, to remember anything, as I used a similar technique here to make it so you can move your mouse pointer across this screen like this. It's quite interesting actually. And if you wanted to hold it down, it would go like this. So that's pretty cool, but let's get back to the computational redstone. So this is essentially a memory. These pistons are actually remembering something. So right now it has the memory of let's see 1, 2. It has the memory of 1, 2. Or have the memory of 3, whatever. So using a few different mechanics, I can make all of this. Now I will show this off in a tutorial later, but only if you guys ask for it. I'll just be showing how it works for now. So we have 3 different aspects for each one. Aspect number 1, the button, obviously. So the button does 3 different things. First it has a signal that will go, let's reset it real quick. It has a signal that will go through here, going through this block. Then it has a signal that's gonna not be able to go through here because this piston isn't pushing this block here. And then it has a redstone wire that will make it so when you press this button, a little while after this happens, this piston will actually go on, which is pretty crafty. Now the last thing it's actually going to do is, besides going into the command block and saying 1, we have this mechanism. So this mechanism is an easy way with a button lever design to make it so this signal, it only goes through this block, and when you press this button, like a little while after the signal goes through, this goes down. So next time it's not going to say 1, 2, it will just say, because this pushed through and it can go through here, 2. Then the same thing is going to go this way, and this is going to go down, and when you press it again, it'll say 3. And then you press it again, and it says 4. And then one more time, it says game over. So, like, this is quite creative for, like, building stuff. Like, mini games or anything like that. Saving memory data. It's actually, fun fact, how I made my very own padlock without looking at any tutorials. I made this 4-digit code, and it works. Now, as you can see, no other code will actually work. Something like that off the top of my head won't work. Even if we got 1 wrong, it won't work. So that's essentially what we're looking at here, a working padlock. This doesn't lead into anything because it's just a design. But as you can see, it has a small memory system, so let me explain. When you press this button, the first button, this signal will go off. So that will push a block right here. So next time you press this button, the signal will go through. That way you can't just press all the buttons in the wrong order and have it work. So after you do that, it'll go up through here and it'll actually reach here. So now you'll be able to click this one and have it go through there, and then you click one more and the door opens. So it's pretty simple redstone, honestly. This is way more advanced. But this right here is my current project. You see, I'm trying to make it so using this direct direction pad, you can move this mouse pointer anywhere around the screen. Right now, we only have 2D functions. We don't have any 3D functions. We can't go down or up, as you can see. But I do think it's pretty cool what we've done so far. Alright, back to this. How to build this. So I'm not really doing a tutorial where it's like exact, but I'll show you an idea of it. So first you'll want a button, and you want that button reaching a long enough signal this way. That's long enough for you. Something like this should work fine. Now you want something along the lines of this with that right there. So what we're essentially doing is, so right now if we press this button, no signal will go through, but if this was here, then the signal will go through. And the reason we're using a normal piston is because it needs to stay remembering that. They're kind of like memory tools. That's why we'll have this piston here. After this goes through, if you want to reset how much you've counted, you can press this and reset the memory. It's honestly pretty cool. So, now, let's go ahead and do this. As you can see, even though I'm not doing the same design, and I'm not, like, doing it by looking at that and copying it, it ends up looking very similar because, well, this is the way to do it. So when you end up doing one of these, it'll usually end up looking like this. Now, alright, there we go. Now, we need to dig out these trenches. So after we dig out a trench big enough, around this size, next to the pistons, excitingly, we can actually build a lever out of a button. Pretty cool. So if you can get that right, which I assure you is quite easy to do, you can do a lot of cool things with it. First of all, let's just move this a little further away here. That should be good. Yes. That's perfect. And now, that signal will stay on. And, oh no, that's not right. So as you can see, we've encountered our first issue that everyone will need to understand. This, I wanted to make sure I included this mistake in the video, because we can't not have this. Obviously, there's an issue here with how this is laid out, because how is this going to get pushed back to turn off? So you actually have to lay this out in a different line formation, like this. You gotta, so that way, you can have it like this. And you can have the wire going right to the redstone torch. So now what you're essentially seeing here is a finished system. So now it's just gonna say hi to. So we don't need to do it on the second part, but it would honestly be the same system if we did. because we just have to do exactly what we did here, except instead of making the wires here, since it would be at the end, we'd have to make it so the wires go down in the middle here, so because if we were doing another thing, that end space wouldn't exist. So the wires would go down here for the pit, and it's pretty much the same design. I'm sure if you guys wanted to build this, you could figure it out. If not, I will be giving a more complex tutorial. This is just me showing off the mechanics of it. So basically, let's try it. See? And now, hi 2. Without saying hi 1 again, as you can see. So now, we do need to reset a few things here. So normally I would put a reset wire. That's what I would usually like to do. So I'll just real quick make a reset wire right here. Just needs to go into these two different things. And we'll put the button right here. And we can reset the system. And then when we press it again, it will say hi 1. And then if you press it again after that, it will say hi 2. And there you have it, folks. A memory system with redstone. It's quite simple, quite useful, and most importantly, quite fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this redstone lesson, and make sure to leave a like if you want a tutorial. Like, actually, I will make a tutorial if we get 3 likes. I'll make an exact tutorial of how to build this if you don't think this is enough. Anyway, bye.